If you talk about the architectural idea or urbanistic idea behind the project, is that a lot of facilities or a lot of areas that are within the project, that means all the parking, all the retail areas are basically underground. That is somehow resulted from the topography of the site. That was like a gravel pit. So actually we filled the gravel pit with all these programs, and that enabled us to form a green roof on top of all those areas and get like 25,000 square meters of green areas for the city.
What does make this project specific? It's basically its hybrid character, you know. And hybrid character then connects with the scale. It's a big project in that city, you know. And if you ask me what is the surplus or what is the added value, it's not the style of the sports hall, it's not even the kind of structural solutions of the stadiums. It's not like, you know, how these two buildings really look like, you know, how they communicate between the two. But what is the added value? It's the park, the recreational park on the roof of the shopping center.
We wanted to keep this sort of horizontality, sort of like a plateau from which you would be able to observe to the mountains on one side, but then again, if you turn back, you would see the silhouette of the city. And on top of that horizontality, we wanted to position just one big volume that would kind of be also sort of like a sign or an icon of the whole complex. We decided that that would be the arena, because arena, it's 12,500 seats, so it's quite a big building. While the stadium is somehow part of the landscape. Stadium is 16,000, so not that big. So actually only the roof of the stadium lifts up a bit like a sort of like a crater that you usually don't see that much, but then when there is like an event or a game going on, you see this sort of like light, you know, kind of coming out. So basically it's like a big horizontal surface with the arena on top.
I think, you know, it's quite obvious, you know, and for someone who is interested or actually has knowledge and knows a little bit of Yugoslavian architecture from from the 60s and the 70s, one can actually then easily find like a relation, you know.
Interesting part of this project lies in this sort of hybrid character of this project. That would be a combination of retail, public outdoor spaces, and sport facilities. That is really unusual, because usually the sport facility is somehow isolated. It's kind of fenced, big parking areas around. That deals a lot with the security, with the way how people kind of use the space and so on. That was actually the main idea of this project. It's not that much about if you like the shape of the arena or is it beautiful or not beautiful, but the way how the whole complex would really work within these three main entities.
If you take into account, that the sports hall was actually developed very much by using, contemporary computer and digital techniques, both for project design as well as for its production. One can then argue, why the forms, or actually why the details, or why the gutters, for example, are not more incorporated into the let's say structure of the roof. Why to kind of enhance and articulate like the gutters. If I talk about the sports hall, instead of kind of having them like more kind of subtly embedded into the skin, as something which it could have been done in, let's say, West, with more sophisticated techniques of production. here, you know, this was our like really deliberate kind of. We've done that like deliberately, like on purpose.
We wanted to create or to design something that would be specific, that would be sort of new, and it would relate to the dynamic of the sport. So we didn't want to have something like a box, or we didn't want to have something like an oval, but we wanted to have something that would represent the dynamic of what's going on in the building. The idea of the building is that it's primarily for the sport. It can be also like a big concert venue, but sport in a way that the spectator is as close as and in as intense relation to the game that's going on in the field. So even the one who would be sitting really on top would be able to see the mimic of the face of the player.
So we have like a different condition here now. We have like a condition which is very much dedicated by the city and its super ambitious mayor on one hand. I mean, ambitious in both terms, like in positive and negative, you know. And on the other hand, our pure pragmatics of retailers, you know, who actually wanted to have like, 80,000 square meters of sellable or rentable spaces, you know, access from so many sites, you know. And these two things actually had to be brought together into this hybrid organization, this hybrid project.
We, in a way, still look at our discipline in a traditional, classic way. Maybe because of our education, maybe because of the context, maybe because of the way how we are. So I still strongly believe that these things, like you mentioned, symmetry or some kind of order, are very much present in our work, but within each project in a different way.